Hello and welcome to a Brit Reacts to Bollywood, and I am here yet again on another weekend of pure chaotic cinema. Let's see what we've got. Today I want to look at something which was recommended a couple of weeks ago, and I think the person had mentioned that they'd recommended it a couple of times before in previous feedback. So, in honour to that, I will faithfully look at this song. It's a VYJAYANTHIMALA, and it's from a film I've never seen before, and I'm quite excited because it looks powerful. It's CHHOTI Si MULAQAT. Look at that poster. That is like a piece of art. That is like a painting. And I think there's something intentional about this. Just checking my hair out. This looks like an impressionist painting from a couple of hundred years ago. It's an incredible piece of work, and there's obviously something intentional. I mean, I just think the typeface for the text here, this beautiful red text, the classic Hindi, I presume, just the colors and the way that this is formed, it's almost dreamlike. And we have these two characters. This woman is sort of formed out of the ether with this incredible coloration for her outfit and her beautiful hair and her face, almost so loving and caring, this expression she gives. This is almost like Madonna and Child from a sort of Christian painting from a few hundred years ago. It's deeply expressive of something. There are layers of meaning here. This young man looking up at her, there's something deeply protective here, and he is being cared for, and it's such an inviting picture. There's so many questions to this, and I hope that I'm doing it justice. Really, it's stunning. This is a stunning piece of work, and I would love to know who created this. It's a Shankar Jaikishan. It's deeply romantic, or there's some deep relationship expressed here. The title, CHHOTI Si MULAQAT, means in English a brief interaction, and it's a 1967 Hindi language romantic drama directed by Alo Sarkar, starring UTTAM Kumar and VYJAYANTHIMALA, and it's a remake of the 1954 Bengali film Agni Pariksha, directed by Agradut, which was an adaptation of Ashapurna Devi's novel of the same name. It's a lot of literature history to this. And the synopsis: Shankar Chowdhury's mother, at the pleas of her dying husband, marries off his daughter to a youth. Both the children are underage and do not know nor understand that they have been married. Well, that's an interesting idea. Rai Sahib uses emotional blackmail to persuade Rupa's grandmother to agree to an engagement. Rupa's mother discovers the truth at home and vows to wipe out every single memory of Rupa ever being married. Years later, Rupa has now grown up to be a lovely young lady and is in love with Ashok. Rupa introduces Ashok to her mother, who approves of him and plans are set to marry them. Then Rupa finds out that she has already been married in childhood. This creates a conflict in her. She returns to her in-laws' place, only to find that her childhood husband is none other than Ashok. This is really interesting, and it obviously touches on that perennial issue of prearranged, business-like arranged marriages, and who really has the best interests of a person and their soul at heart. Agreements that are made when a person is very young, and then they have to follow through even if they change as a person. But this is interesting because she falls in love separately with the person that she was originally engaged to be with. So there's almost a sense of predestined, preordained soulmate matching here, which is a very interesting concept as well. So you've got two conflicting ideas which kind of complement as this film develops. I like it. The song is called KAL NAHIN PAYE JIYA More PIYA. Oh, that's a mouthful for someone who speaks English. Let's have a look at this song. I really don't know what to expect, but it looks already, from what I can see, quite magical. This is extraordinary. This is like heaven. This is a very ambitious set design. It's so strange. I like this visually very much. But it must be hard for her. Here we are. Yes. Wow. What a shift in set design. Oh, I love it. Beautiful. This is the power of lighting. Completely transformed. And it's so simple. Wow. It's like spring. It's so psychedelic. Incredible. There's very little need for much camera work here. Very simple work here. It's all centered around her dance. What a shot. That's terrifying, isn't it?
Hello. Yes, deed. Dance जारी रखो.
Of course, it's set on a stage and there's an audience watching. It's always mind-blowing. A yogi. This is inherently comic now. So I will read the lyrics in English. Oh! Just beautiful. Indian cinema is always a psychedelic journey, because from my innocent eyes, I didn't know that this would be set in a stage with an audience again. But again, they do it to you, and it was such a surprise because it was such a transformed world, this soundstage that they've got, which is pure white, looks like heaven at the start, turns into like a desert landscape when it goes red, turns into a spring forest when they change the lights and some of the trees appear, and then you have this yogi in a tree, and I'm thinking, what is the connection here? But there is some heavenly spiritual implications to this, and then he's very nonplussed about her and she is dancing around him and to him and in relation to him, and he is detached on a spiritual level. And then we have this audience watching. It's like a sort of spiritual lesson in some way. The reality is not a reality. It's a play for an audience. And then you realize you're watching the audience who are playing watching the play. There's two plays, and then we're the audience, and then we question whether we're actually in a play ourselves. It's a beautiful multi-level piece, this, and there was something quite funny about the reactions of the yogi. He's not plussed about it, he's not bothered in some way, and then she embraces him or honors him at the end. Let me read these lyrics. The singing and the music is stunning. Aside from Vijayanthimala's completely enchanting performance, that voice is dancing just the same. It's a stunning lyrical treat and a feast. I can only get some of the lyrics translated for some reason. My heart would not rest without you, my beloved. I have bedecked myself with all finery. Repeatedly I am looking at the path. I feel the whole world is barren without you, my beloved. I search for you in courtyard, on terrace when it starts getting dark. I hope you will come. My heart would not rest without you, my beloved. So it is like a spiritual sort of bhajan almost. It's deeply devotional, and it's across, you could say it about a romantic relationship, but the metaphor is you're talking to God, seeking God, and that's what the yogi is doing, and she is expressing that in some way. It's a wonderful, completely out of the blue piece for a story that is completely separate to that. But again, there's that element of, are they divinely ordained to be together? And so there is that element of spiritual messaging and reality in it. Really mind-blowing. The director, the cinematographer really made most use of Vijayanthimala. It was all focused on her performance. There were some really simple set changes. And then the big surprise to me, the audience were watching in the modern day, and you've got this co-actor who is the yogi. Really, really interesting, powerful piece. And I presume that she is, in some way, she is that lead character who is betrothed to Ashok when she's young, and then she's performing. Really interesting film. Are there any other songs from this film worth seeing? Let me know. It's still hot. I hope you're all drinking water and taking care of yourself. I hope it's peaceful where you are. Please let me know your feedback on this and what you know about this film, and any recommendations. I am your Brit reacting to Bollywood. I wish you a wonderful week. Chin chin, cheerio.